mediation efforts by Egypt and Qatar have kept the ceasefire intact for now, but this fragile truce is fragile. Is it sustainable?
Thank you for having me, Mark. Is it fragile? Yes. And is it sustainable? Another yes, because whether the ceasefire can continue or not will depend on the will of all the parties and the mediators to maintain it. And so far, the majority of the parties in this equation do have a vested interest in this ceasefire remaining in place. Hamas and the rest of the Palestinians in general do have a vested interest in the continuation of this ceasefire in order to alleviate the current state of suffering and to avoid descending back into the state of wanton violence that existed before the ceasefire due to the Israeli aggression. Also, the Arab mediators in Egypt, in particular, Egypt has a vested interest in maintaining this ceasefire in order to maintain regional stability and to alleviate the suffering of the Palestinians. And also, even the Americans have a vested interest in preserving this ceasefire, because President Trump's administration's motto has been "No war, no more wars." I'm going to come to office and I'm going to end all wars in 10 seconds. Apparently, that never happened, of course. However, he does have, apparently, at least that's what President Trump says, and what the rest of his administration say, that they really do not want to be involved or entangled in a war in the Middle East. So the continuation of the ceasefire in accordance with the deal that has been reached of the ceasefire and the prisoner exchange, detainee exchange, is already an existing framework that the ceasefire can continue through in order to turn from a truce into a permanent cessation of hostilities. Of course, the Trump's proposals have thrown everything off balance. However, as we know, this proposal is far from implementable in any way. It's not viable, it's not realistic, and it will only cause more problems. And I think that the Israelis now are trying to get as many detainees out as they can throughout this arrangement. The idea is try, on the other side, the Palestinians and the Arabs need to take advantage of that in order to push strongly for the solidifying of the current ceasefire. And this will require the United States to be on board. And the only way this can be done is through providing a vision, a plan for the reconstruction, for the day after the war, the day after in Gaza, basically. And I think this is what Egypt is moving forward towards. And I think now that the Americans are much less stringent than they were. Marco Rubio said yesterday that the U.S. Secretary of State, he said that we are awaiting the proposals by the Arab states, and of course, and that is referring basically to Egypt, because all the Arab states are united behind the Egyptian proposal or the Egyptian vision for the reconstruction of Gaza. Egypt is finalizing that. We already have the main features of this plan available to us, and I think that that when it comes out, something can be discussed with the Americans, of course. But of course, I say that with extremely cautious optimism.